Welcome to Just the Two of Us Homestead. We are Colleen and Frank, and we live in the perfect size homestead just for us in southwestern Quebec. Gardening, growing food, and preserving is one of our passions. And our barn animals, we love them so much, they're just like pets. And we're so fortunate to be able to live our lives as we do. Each and every day is a blessing.
Chickens! Chickens!
There's Uno working her way in there. I haven't been out to the garden in what feels like an eternity, and probably is, at least since the sweet potatoes were harvested, and even that day was only for that. And these are brassicas I planted, I don't know, at least a month ago, and I haven't barely watered them, and we haven't had any rain. I've totally ignored them, and I just looked at them, and they're doing really well. I know I fish emulsioned them once when I planted them. So I just, I know it's sunlight and it's bright and everything, and you're not supposed to do this, but I'm out here now. So I just gave them a good water and I'm fish emulsioning them. And it's in the 90s today, or Fahrenheit, and the low 30s Celsius. We are having summertime weather, very cool nights, which is lovely. So I thought maybe they still have a chance, like they have at least another month of growing left. So I feel bad I've ignored them because they probably would have been further along had I given them some attention. But I have broccoli and cauliflower, so maybe there's hope yet. So I'm going to do one more douse over there and maybe they will give us something. I've just been so busy in the kitchen. I haven't been attending to the things that are still giving and growing. Look how beautiful and healthy they are. They were stagnant for the longest time because I put them in right from baby starts. I didn't pot them up. And now they're looking beautiful. So maybe we will get a fall harvest. This was my second planting of green beans, and it's done really well. They look horrible right now because they haven't been watered in a long time. And I've already picked from them 3 times and canned from them. And this, I consider this a bonus harvest because I think we finally got our bean canning back up to a good supply, because last year we didn't make it until the next summer. And it looks like there might be enough for another small canning session, so that's great. Not too shabby for, I think today's September 16th. That's a nice little basket of beans. I don't think I've ever picked beans this late in September. I'm pretty happy with that. And I still have a mountain full of herbs in here with flowers, but I just keep dehydrating and dehydrating. And look at the mini cukes. Vines have completely died back, and there's still little cucumbers growing amongst the dead vines. Those things just won't quit. I planted some turnip when I planted these beans, and we've already been eating them, and most of them are ready to be harvested. These are turnip. They're not supposed to get very much bigger than this size. And we just roast them in the oven with olive oil and salt and pepper. And I like them. Frank loves them. So I'll harvest a few and I'll leave the rest. I know they store for a very long time in the fridge as well. And one year I even roasted them in the oven and then I froze them in the freezer, and they were even good that way. So the ones that are really protruding, I'll pick now. That's a nice one. Because if I don't pick them, somebody else will eat them. I think I'll leave the rest for now. I don't know why I don't check this poor plant ever. Oh, I feel so bad for it. Oh, that one's all rotted. That'll go to the chickens. Oh my goodness. Guess I'm making more zucchini bread or something. It's kind of rough though. I could peel it, I guess. I'm filming into the sun, so I apologize if you can't see very well, but all along the fence, I've been taking all my different bean varieties. I usually hang them in the barn, but it's been so nice that I just take them and hang them up, and I'm drying all the pods to save the seeds. So until I see rain in the forecast, I'll just leave them here. It's cleaner out here than the barn with all the wood chips and dust from the chickens, so I have them everywhere hanging on fences. So part of the garden is still beautiful with flowers, and even the plants that aren't producing, they still look okay. The peppers are still full of peppers and giving. And until the weather turns bad, I'm just leaving them, and I'm going to even harvest a bit more today. But the tomatoes look pathetic. They're just about done, the big ones, but the cherry tomatoes, even though there's barely a leaf left, they're still giving. So it's sad when it's the end of the season, and I have mixed emotions because I'm like, my spirit isn't quite in it anymore, and yet I kind of dread the winter. So, and for the garden beds, some of them are empty and some still have things in it, like the herb garden. There's kale over there. This has the beans and turnip. The carrot bed over there, we're just putting barn clean out on it now to kind of keep it covered. The strawberries, there's still parsnips and celery over there. So the garden's not done because the weather is just like summertime. But I'm kind of ready to put it to bed, but it's just too hot to be doing all that hard physical stuff. And while it's still growing, I definitely don't have the heart to pull things out. Right about here, you're going to see me take off my microphone and clip it to one of the pepper plants because I'm so self-conscious about huffing and puffing and grunting while I'm bending and getting up and down. So I put it on that pepper plant and then I forgot to put it back on when I'm talking further on in the video. So now I have to talk to you this way, but that's okay. I'm trying to show you here that this is a Sugar Rush peach pepper plant. I have two of them and they're loaded with peppers, but none of them are turning peach. I've even picked a few to see if that would help. And, oh, that one's bad, so I'm just going to toss it aside. But none of them are turning peach. I don't know how long it's supposed to take. I've never grown them before. If any of you guys know, am I doing something wrong? I don't know. These are baby boo pumpkins that I'm growing for the very first time. I'm growing them in different places all around the homestead, but they're adorable, they're cute. I've already given a bunch of them away. So I'm just clipping some here that have the brown stems. Not all of them are. And I'm just taking some into the house and I have them in a bowl on the island right now in the kitchen. But they're just so darn cute. I'm going to grow them from now on. The vines hardly take up any space in the garden and there's just tons of them everywhere. I have room still in my pepper basket, so I'm just going to plunk them in there and look how pretty that looks. Looks like snowballs with peppers. This part I was disappointed that the microphone wasn't on me because when I called the chickens, they came and I'd scooped up a bunch of the cherry tomatoes that had fallen on the ground in the garden and I was just giving them to them so they don't go to waste. And I had harvested a bunch of kale. I grow it specifically for the chickens and giving it to them. But I guess they'd had enough of watermelon and Frank had already given them some other treats. They didn't seem terribly interested. And I had brought the turnips with me there to cut off all the greens and give it to the chickens as well. And when I came back an hour later, there was nothing left on the ground. So they eventually eat everything. And when I say chickens, I'm also including the ducks. The ducks pretty much eat everything that the chickens do. The geese won't eat any of this. They only eat grain or scratch, but the ducks eat pretty much everything that the chickens do. And it was just nice to sit there with them and enjoy the beautiful day. So thanks for spending this beautiful day with me. And until we're together again, take care.